A jolt and then you'll die.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Exquisite back with a brand new video for today. In today's video, we're going to be playing Kingdom of Heroes, and we're going to be going over Fafnir Teams, one of the best teams to put together, or how to put together a Fafnir team so you could get fast runs on your 20 times repeats. And as well as we're going to start off the video by doing some attacks in Guild War. So let's start with those real quick. So we're going against Das Void. Looks like they started off the attack. This is my defense for it. I'm using Irene lead, Ingwe on stun set, and Titania on stun set as well with Lakshmi. So we're going to attack the top two and hopefully see what we could accomplish here. I'm going to be using Lachesis, Apophis, Apollon, and Nocturne for these attacks, and I'm looking to skill up my Locke a lot more. She's currently at 2600 attack. I want her at least 3k, or trying to get her to 3k. I need her speed to be up and her crit rate to be more, but she's hitting like a truck right now. I'm liking her. And let's just get into it, see what we can do. Alright, let's take off auto. Let's see. I think we're going to be going after the Apollon first. Let's just move up. Let's move up. And then we're going to buff everybody right here, because they're going to be stationary for a little bit, just because that's how. So they're going to be moving along the top side, so we're going to go after that first. Let's defense break since they used up everything over there. Ooh, Apollon almost. Maybe we can take out the Apollon. Ooh, almost took out the Apollon right there. It's okay if my Apophis dies. I'm okay with that. See, she's gonna die right there. Actually, let's get the reset. Boom. Get a stun. Yeah, we got the stun. So we could actually get in here. Let's see. I kind of want to. There we go. Let's see. Boom. So we got defense break on Ifrit. Let's go sleep. Good sleep on that. Let's. Ooh, that Locke has a lot of resistance. So let's sleep you again. Alright, and I think we could kill her right here. Yep. So definitely going for this Lachesis next. Oh, we killed her. So that's good. Let's block buffs and do defense ignore. Let's see. Hopefully we get the stun right here. Oh, we got slow. Alright, let's buff up. So we slept. This Irene is really slow. Alright, she's dead right here. Got that crit. And let's get into the next one. Let's see who's next. We'll go for the second guy now. For Vezil. Let's see. Looks like an easy win. I started building up with all the rune dungeons that I've been running. I started building up a lot of characters. Now I just need to look for the 6 stars for them. And if you're running rune dungeons, you should really be like looking for those runes and getting a lot of what is it, the promotion fairies, just because you get so much if you're running the runes. I get so many 3 stars and 3-star promotion fairies and everything. It's just really nice. Ooh, we killed. So let's get the reset. Action opportunity. Let's get that kill. Ooh, didn't kill. Didn't crit on that one. We could... We'll win this. I mean, this is an easy win right here. There we go. But yeah, you should be running as much rune dungeons as you can. That's what your gems should be going towards, is the energy for it. Just because then you could get your promotion fairies to promote your heroes up, and you're also like getting promotion fairies, you're getting spirit, you're getting regular gems, you're getting runes, which equals silver, and you're also getting silver on top of completing the dungeons. So you should be, I'll show you what I have. Whoops, not runes. I just sold all my runes that I'm not going to be using. So here's storage. You should be having like your storage starting to fill up with the amount of promotion fairies that you're getting. You shouldn't be lacking on promotion fairies, and that's how you would be promoting really quick as well. Just by running rune dungeons. Just because the drop rate on promotion fairies, every 20 run you could get about 1 or 2, give or take, and you're also getting, depending on how many runs you do a day, you could get up to like 5 million silver in one day just by running rune dungeon and selling off the runes that you're not using. But let's get into the Fafnir teams that I've been using. So here's Fafnir and Agalos. We're obviously doing 11th floor. My team currently is running at 23.77 seconds, give or take. That's the best run it's done. But it's averaging about sub 40, so under 40 seconds per run. I'm using Apophis lead because for the attack lead, 36% in dungeon battle. As well as he does a really good defense break and reduces speed. As well as his S2 does a lot of damage and resets or takes away 15% action gauge, and the S1 reduces speed as well. Mary, I need to skill her up more, and I want to put more attack in her, but her S3 is really good. The skill's damage increases when the enemy hit has lesser remaining HP, and the Spirit Blast also reduces cooldown of allies by 1 turn and recovers your action gauge by 50%, so she technically could get 2 turns. I pulled Titanos, as you saw in the last videos that we did for the Spirit Summoning, but Titanos is really good that I'm using. I want at least 2200 attack, but I use him for his defense break and for his S2, which he pretty much nukes an area and just clears out the mobs and does a lot of damage. He also gains the 10% max HP and has a 45% chance to counterattack, but really doesn't matter because won't be counterattacking that much in this dungeon just because they're all melee and not ranged units, and he gets an increased attack at the start of the turn if it's above 50%. So he does a lot of damage, and I'm using Nocturne for his S2, which is continuous damage, plus his ignore defense for 30%, as well as block buffs, but doesn't really need the block buffs. Reduce mobility, and as well as the action gauge reduction for 15%. He is going to be doing on the boss, so my team gets more turns before the enemy or the boss Fafnir gets more turns. I think Mary also does that, reduces action gauge. Reduces their action gauge by 30%. So I'm going to be taking more turns than the boss can get turns. So let's get into what run what we could get on this run, and I'll show you some alternatives that you could be running as well, just for your teams, just to get a better score. I know a lot of people are still in like the minute areas, and you kind of, with this 3x speed buff that they just gave us, you should be running under 1 minute Fafnir Teams, and trying to get there is probably the main goal in this game at the moment, is just hitting that portion of the speed. You obviously later on in the game we're probably going to get down to 15-second times, which would be nice. That's what I'm aiming for, at least 20 seconds. I just need to shave off 3 more seconds, but as you can see, that was a sub 40-second team. That's where it's averaging at. Best case scenarios, depending on the hero's placements and the hero's what skill they end up using, it could be averaging around 30 seconds. So it's a pretty fair team. Main things that you want to look for on Fafnir is going to be the defense break, the attack leads, continuous damage does help, and that should be it. And just a lot of nuking. Like Esperanza is really good, as long as you have a defense break. Let's see, Freed is really good, just because her S1 does a speed reduction, as well as her S2, when that speed reduction is there, she does defense break on the enemies. As well, she does a large area of that. And I think her skill scales off HP. Successful hits. No, it does not scale off HP. I thought it did. Oh yeah, this skill's damage increases when the target has lesser remaining HP. So she does more damage the closer the boss is to dead. Let's see another. I know media used to be a big one just because of her nuking. I was using Belfiger for a while, just because if you get a right turn, you could apply this, then the next turn you apply, or you use your S3. So it'd be like Apophis, S3, then Nocturne S2, then if that's not there, Titanos with defense break, or land a glancing hit just for the debuff. Then you would use your S2 for more dots, and then S3 on Belfiger for that maximum damage, because he scales off of debuffs on his S3, and does more damage that way. As well as he does 20% increased crit damage. I was running that, he was alright. He was running about 40 seconds, I'd say, just right there. Let's see who else is good. Any water unit, I mean, there's not a lot of good nuker water units, but like Valkyrie would be pretty good, just because there's speed lead, and she does a continuous damage off of debuffs when the enemy has debuffs. But she's not really a good speed team. Pretty much you would just want nukers. Like, I think Claudia and Raha would be actually really good if you rune them right, just because if you rune them speed, they do damage off of their speed, so they'd be pretty good. But technically you would need a defense breaker. Defense breaker is going to be your main thing for that. So if you're running, like, let's say like Esperanza, Mary, Media, and Freed, you could do good damage just because that defense break on Freed. A lot of people hate on Freed, but I actually don't think she actually needs skill ups as much. It would be nice to have skill ups with her, but it doesn't really do anything, or it does do something, but doesn't really need it. She's a little slower with her S3 being a buff skill, but you could divert from that. Apollon is a really good one just for his speed lead as well, and he scales off of the greater remaining HP the enemy has. As long as he's hitting, crit hitting pretty much, he's really good. Just because he does action gauge reduction as well whenever it is a crit hit. But I'm trying to find, let's see if there's any more characters. Bonnie would be really good just because her defense break, her S2, and I think this is an AoE, and it does action gauge reduction. So main stats you're looking for a Fafnir speed team is action gauge reduction, defense break, speed reduction, and dots. You can veer away from the dots, but dots do help because he takes double turns, and you're hitting about 3k to 4k damage just with the dots. Whenever he has dots on, takes his turn, does the action opportunity for his turn, and then takes that dot damage again. So that's why dots are pretty good, I think, in my opinion. A lot of people are running Jack, and they're running pretty quick teams. I don't really have a good Jack built up, so I need to build her up just so I could bring her into altar as well. But let's go over Aggelos next. Alright, next we're going to go over Aggelos, our sealed armory. We'll go over the requirements after we do the autoplay battle and see what you need to beat him. But I like running a speed lead just because you're trying to beat his S1, which is his energy blast, and you're trying to beat him before he actually goes off, because he will, depending on where your units are placed, he will attack all of them in a straight line. Pretty much it's all nuking him down and resisting the defense breaks and provokes. So let's get into it. Resistance is going to be a big factor in here just because you're trying not to get defense breaked. Esperanza is a really good unit for this, just because she is a water unit against fire, so she gets the advantage, and she does a lot of damage, especially if you speed her right and have good runes on her. She does a lot of damage. She's probably the #1 unit in the game right now. Apophis gets that speed. Speed is a really good thing on Aggelos just because it reduces his time of getting his turns. It does action gauge reduction. Looks like we're gonna beat him this time. This team isn't 100%. I know I could show you a team that is 100% that I never lose with, and it's just they're better runed. Not better runed, but they're more suited, just the class types with them, and it's all water team. So that was 58 seconds, so that's sub 1 minute. That's what you want for Aggelos. Aggelos is always going to be slower than Fafnir, but you want at least below 1 minute time. Let's get into the next team that I would say is the better team to run this. So we're going to get rid of these guys, and we're going to put in, where is she? Valkyrie, which is probably one of the MVPs. Let's go water tab. Water, and then where is Valkyrie? Oh, there. So Valkyrie lead. And then Esperanza, Freed, and Media. I think my Media... Hold on, we'll be right back. Let me re-rune my Media. Alright, and we're back. So this is another team I liked running. It's quicker, it's more efficient, and does well for me. These are my runes for them. So Valkyrie, main thing for Valkyrie is the crit rate. Esperanza is runed differently everywhere. Mine's kind of like a bruiser, a speed bruiser. 50% of crit rate. Media needs speed, attack, crit damage, and crit rate. As you can see, I'm not running a whole lot of resistance on some characters. Freed needs at least some accuracy and needs attack and crit rate as well as crit damage. So let's get into this one now. They'll figure as the loading screen time. And we'll see how this one does. So as you can see, kind of slower, maybe. I think it is slower. But you'll see that it's more efficient. And the reason why I was running that other team is I was just trying to get my time lower than it was already. And let's see. So obviously these dungeons are based off of like how fast you can run them and the resistance of your teams, pretty much. You don't get any better rewards for going faster. It's just more efficient the way you go faster. So you're not sitting at your phone for 30 minutes. Instead, you're sitting at you don't even have to sit at your phone. You just put on repeat, go away, do your things, and then come back, and you're done. So a lot of people run Hild as lead. I find that slower just because Hild is not really a fast unit. He's a tank. And he does do great damage, but is more based off of his tankiness and his other stats. But you can run him, I believe, on full regeneration. I think you can run two regeneration sets and one revenge set, and he can solo, so you can bring in 3 fodders with him. I'll do some testing and release a video and see if I have good regeneration ruins and good revenge set to see if I can solo Aguilas. But that's gonna do it for you guys today, and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about any team preferences or anyone that you're having questions on doing speed runs with Fafnir and Aguilas. Please help out the YouTube algorithm by commenting, liking, and subscribing so more viewers can see my content. And I'll see you all next time. See ya.